This poor-looking woman. There was a notorious past, once upon a time in Saigon. All the gangsters face to face. When I hear the name too, I am terrified. It wouldn't be so special if it wasn't. One day, the daughter of two men was kidnapped. After the birth of her daughter, she retired to hiding. Since then, the name Phuong has disappeared in the pond world, but now the name is being mentioned again. On the journey to rescue my daughter, it's like going back to your people. 15 years ago when she was still an iron woman. Not afraid of anyone. The lake changed hands, a single mother. How did he rescue his daughter? Please continue to follow us. Phuong is the son of the family. In a family with a martial arts tradition. So you've been practicing martial arts ever since. Still not standing. But when I grow up. Phoenix did not succeed father. They are increasingly playing SA. Leave home Theo boy led to your father from each other. Thanks to the insemination of father's martial arts. After working in a bar, the two quickly became a notorious big sister, ready to hold the bottle straight to the head. Anyone who causes trouble. I thought you would be forever working as a bartender. Then, an unexpected turn of events in her life. Phuong, because she slept with many people, she became pregnant. I don't know who the father is. But she was determined to give birth to it. She moved to a rural area with the intention of remaking life. Since then, the name Phuong has been blurred and disappeared into the land of Saigon. I thought when I had kids, they will wash the hands of the guards, find a decent job to live in. But since I was a child, I didn't pay attention to learning. In my hands, there is only martial arts. To try to raise a girl who's educated properly. To worshippers have to make money by collecting rent. Also you're always scorned by people in the neighborhood. Not only that, your future daughter is also infected. She ostracized and bullied by their peers. Make fun of her, she's a bastard, she's a detritus child. So Mike's always showing up. When I saw my mother doing this dangerous work, she also got her mother into a lot of trouble. There was once too. You took the money you owed, you crippled the children. His brothers came to his house to threaten him. Times like that, you can just hold the plum in a corner of the house. If not for girls, you've shown them what decency is. Tomorrow's baby is always cooking up the intention of raising so to Phoenix fish. Is not a day of fighting. And then they're all over me like that. After hearing this girl's intentions, Phuong directly rejected. Remind your daughter to study properly, because it's the only way to change your life. Although the appearance is not, but the two Phoenix are still soft to meet my wishes. Late at night she plucked from the rice jar out of her souvenir box. The next morning, she brought a pair of cotton tie. Take it out to get money to buy fish. At that moment, the market suddenly became a mess. To Phoenix running back, I saw my son being raped by a woman, guilty of stealing wallet. Instead of defending girls, she told him to open the bag and check it out. You don't believe me and trust strangers. The warm girl left. After a few minutes of separation from her mother, body sitting alone, Mike was kidnapped by a group of people. Two on the side. After a moment of hesitation, I couldn't sell my earrings anymore. But when I look around, I can't see tomorrow anymore. Heart to Phoenix is flipped out. I saw my son being dragged away by the strangers. You rushed to chase? They were immediately stopped by their accomplices. The incident caused people to flee. They came in with knives as if they wanted to eat. If you touch your child, you will know. To folding handle. They were about to run away when they were bitten. She gave him a taste of durian. She was chasing the kidnappers nearby. I saw the girl was put in the boat. To Phoenix jumped into the water and followed Theo, hit a drop. Out of the way. She jumps the wave on the side of the road to chase, while following them. Durian eater caught up with Phuong. He pulled out a knife to take your life. They were so close that they almost got run over by a truck. Stand up and you can't see the stars. He went out to the river to find two men. Put him in the water to solve it. This guy is a cow butt. Not your opponent. Solve the roadblock. You're building Kia's dream war. Follow in the direction of the kidnappers. But now she's completely lost track of her daughter. Ask each of the people around you. Even though I know there will be no results. Phuong fumbled every nearby car. I saw my daughter unconscious in a bus. The kidnappers quickly accelerated. She crashed the dream train that she left on the side of the road. The two men chased in despair. The two men asked the people who lived there. Thanks so. You know, the car used to move to Saigon. But the transportation is no longer there. But go by stretch high. Your daughter must have been sold across the border. There's no other way. To Phoenix despite law blocking the head and of the risk truck. Climbing in from behind. Through a night of unrest on the cargo bin, the car finally brought her back to the land. You used to roll around before, but right now, they don't know where they took their daughter. She returned to the old town to seek help. However, you can only change the stock. Your brother is in prison. Some people have replaced you as a big sister but eat porridge. Ate for fear of the power of other criminals. She refused to help the Phoenix in any way. Phuong went to the police station to report. but apathetic attitude, and the discredited face of the police officer. It makes you depressed. People are rushing. I like to show off my boss's work. Phuong uses abdominal pain to trick him into getting medicine. Then search for the document yourself. Here you discover a truth. It turns out that the police are also investigating cases. This large-scale kidnapping. And it's not just tomorrow. There's a lot of other kids. Has gone missing in the organ trafficking ring. Children. The police suspect is a woman. It's known as the Wolf Bar. 6 at a time. Phuong found sister, curriculum vitae of those involved. She snuck out of the police station with the documents. Phuong goes all the way around the corner of Saigon. Follow the address one by one. I finally went to a car mechanic's house. Name avoid duty, but open the door for you to be my mother. The man in charge has now washed his sword guard. So mother, please forgive your son. But two for sure, he knows where your daughter is. Live 5 less screwdriver on hand. When you are not careful. He want to throw her down and throw her away. Then where let me constantly dissuade. The officer still took the hammer out and prepared to go down. Although injured, but Phuong still not tired of any boy's father. She managed to steal the hammer. They both used to fuck each other in a bar. The police officer held the entire pipe down the neck of Phuong. She reached for the flower vase and banged straight into the head. That's how you get out of his pincer-like hands. Both continue to strike. It's like putting your opponent to death. Phoenix successively dodged the dangerous attacks of, in the end, more technical than people. You quickly held the line. Even if she was beaten by her mother, but that didn't stop you. Phuong takes the sharp gear to cut the neck. The last thread under the iron hand of Phoenix. Command must also be subdued. He said, find out where the kidnappers are. The two must find their children before they. Children are put on trains to go to the shops. You have to act quickly. Because time is for two. Only a few hours left. Phuong very quickly find the location of the slaughterhouse. If you look at it, it's just a normal grocery store. The stupid doorkeeper was quickly defeated by Phuong. The deeper you go inside, the more guards there are, but they're not much use either. Each one of them is to lie still. You finally came to the room where the kidnappers committed inhuman acts. Mike's slipper dropped on one side. Phoenix cannot help falling. When you think of the worst-case scenario, with my daughter, she went to the room at the end of the hallway, where the Wolf and his men were discussing the mission. This time, Phoenix makes a noise to draw a guy near the door. And then just threw a surprise sneak attack. You easily took that guy down. In the room she finally saw the leader. But the Wolf now despises. She motioned for the juniors to solve the Phoenix. During the fighting, you happen to see the cell, where they lock up their kids and see their daughters. You see to pop. Power skill to solve Zoyer. Within one note, in front of the Wolf, you put down your weapon to negotiate. But the Wolf is the kind of person who prefers to talk with his fists. After eating a kick of Phoenix's, she's standing still like the sky. Phuong has indeed met a difficult opponent at this time. It was only through to tricks that the Wolf threw her aside. The disdainful Wolf just turned out punch. To people unconscious on the floor, while in a trance. To people heard the number of the ship. Then she was kicked by her juniors. And threw it into the river to kill it. He was tied up even though he woke up. To people can't swim up on their own. She struggled in despair. But then it's gone because of lack of air. Captain salary after discovering Phuong. They took the case documents. I quickly went to the police to investigate. Thanks so. Trace the two heroes and save her in time. At this time, 2 people were taken to the hospital. After waking up, you panicked when you realize you've wasted too much time. 2 people get up and go to the rescue quickly. She was stopped by the police captain. Turns out he's the one who signed the order to release you in the disco burning case 15 years ago, but this time it's different. The salary captain insisted on keeping her in the hospital. I don't want people to break the forest in the crucial moment, because this is a felony. The police have been watching for a long time. They need full proof to round up a bunch of human traffickers. I'll let you know. The slaughterhouse you found earlier, they have been cleaned by them. It doesn't leave a trace. Phoenix lies on a hospital bed with a burning heat. I want to go out and save you. The nurse heard everything. I am very sympathetic to the 2 heroes. I want to make an action movie with you. To put a scalpel on the nurse's neck. Then kick the door outside and threaten. She pulled the hostage back into the elevator and quickly left the hospital. The salary captain didn't stop him. Nurse Ebonitega. It was like flying out of the hospital. She drove Phuong back to the old house to see her brother. After a while, my brother came back. You have now become a true martial artist. My father's career in front of my mother's altar. To the Phoenix remembers my strict commandments. For me, now you only have one relative left. Is brother. But after knowing the circumstances of the 2, brother not only does not help, but also because of the past. When mom died, she didn't even come home. But now I dare to come back for help. Phuong has always regretted everything. But being the mother of tomorrow is the right thing to do. 7 hopes for your best friend. clinging to the past coldly without forgiving. Phuong fell down crying. You really have no place to turn now. In the midst of despair to the extreme, the captain suddenly appeared. Except for you now. No one can understand this case better. Thanks to the police to lift the spirits. To people working with you, determination. Find out where the kidnappers last traded. According to the ship number that the Volf said when she fell in love. My Phuong with salary to go house to search. After a while, they both found the ship with the correct number. Like the Volf said. The captain stopped her from acting on her own and waited for aid to arrive. But the two boys can't calm down anymore, in spite of being alone. Even the salary captain can't stop you. In the train to Phuong, groping each car one by one. Finally, your presence also caught the attention of the kidnappers. They looked at each other and attacked the two. They don't know that they've encountered a wild animal. Salary captain can't leave you alone, dangerous. I also went to Theo. I gently fuck each one on the ground. Stop them from letting the two heroes escape. I saw you shake your silver hand, but they're still working. You need money more than you need life. Just a few simple tricks. You quickly lock us up. Pay to keep people in the car. Phuong quickly found another car, where another group is playing cards together. Two daredevils climb to the roof of the ship, but unfortunately it emits static. Get their attention. The best kid in there pushed out to check the wagon. However, he quickly discovered two. I didn't know how to tell you that I like Lao. To eat onions. He saw the light pole in front of him and saved his life, and he kicked her down. He was caught by his friends. How unlucky are the two? Fell into the hands of an acquaintance. This guy's been banging beer bottles straight in the head, and sent to prison years ago. Old enemies add new hatred. He's all choking. Two phoenixes were bitten by her. Take that opportunity to free it out of their grip. Holding a bottle of beer for each one to be stunned. At the same time, the salary leader was also timely to help. He motioned for her to continue moving to another wagon to find tomorrow's baby. I'm going to stay and solve this mess. While moving, to Phoenix caught a guy at the joint. It turns out they're plotting. Separate the cabin containing the children from the train, and then bend the tracks to change direction. Take the goods back to the place where the transaction takes place. Don't give them a chance to feet down the train. The Volf realized that he had lost contact with his men. Let someone else come check it out. At this point, the two men also found the Volf. She's a little surprised. However, when you see the statues with strong vitality standing in front, but the Volf still despises. Don't put two stars in your eyes. She's a formidable opponent. At first, only a few moves put Phuong in the lower position. Then he ordered his men to turn the wagon. One name open joint split prescription. The rest, transfer the track to take the wagon to another location. The salary captain is fighting over here. Extremely bloody. Also have to stop. Looking at the train containing Phuong is getting further. There's nothing we can do. Two people are standing up right now. To keep fighting. Please inform me that you are the aunt of the king. The Volf must be recognized. I met a worthy opponent. Let her know what her level is. Notorious for a while. You are constantly hitting the enemy. Not in time. The Volf turned the tide and broke the hands of the two. Then she kicked the ship against the wall to draw blood. Earring bag with cotton ball BS memorabilia dropped out. The Volf stomped mercilessly. It makes fun of you for being in the wrong place. But she didn't know that the two fiends were coming. How strong is the winner? My fear always stands up after every fall. You can't save your daughter. You can't let yourself fall. I could be in the wrong place, but you got the wrong one. After that word, Phuong rushed to hit the Volf as if hitting the enemy. 15 not see you. The more you hit back, the more you fight as much as you hit. The opponent has no chance to fight back. The Volf was eaten so badly that he had to pull out his knife to defend himself. But that doesn't change anything. To agility to support the blow. How much hatred is unleashed on the Volf. The final landing. To Phoenix turns the blade against the Volf. Then steal the knife and slash the opponent in a row. The Volf had not yet learned its lesson. Don't touch a person. When I lost you, I had to leave like that. At the delivery location, the traffickers are waiting. They're extremely mobile. Ready to hold hot goods in case of unforeseen. To Phoenix, I finally found my daughter on the train. Fortunately, she's still alive. My mother and I hugged each other. Sorry for not trusting my daughter. There are many other missing children inside. They're numbered as commodities. The detached wagon has also arrived at the delivery location at the same time. The main train also runs back to Gao. Salary captain stepped down and send people to the aid. I looked out the window and saw the animals out there to give your daughter the memories of her father. As a reward for her bravery. Tell your daughter to stay here. Let me finish the job. As soon as the train stops, the men below are just waiting for your orders. No matter what you call, I can't hear you. One of them stepped up to check. And right after that, the VA hit and shook the train, enough to see the fate of that juniors. The Wolf boys became more and more alert. But the body escaped from the appearance of Phuong. It startled them. Hands not in time to calmly break the gun. Make them shoot at each other. In an instant, their people suffer countless losses. When the gun ran out of ammunition, she rushed. Every single one of them was knocked down in a note. The victory belongs to the two heroes. She was suddenly shot by a gunman. The bald man stood up. To Phoenix to the sky. But at the moment of birth and death, the police officer promptly saved her life. And finally, all the sesame fish and a raft together. They were able to rescue the kidnapped children. Back to family. The baby came out and ran to his mother. Fortunately, risky people are often high. That shot didn't take your life. In exchange for your courage, To Phoenix finally got a sweet treat. In this case, to dismantle the organ trafficking ring. You're the biggest contributor. Tomorrow baby moment. I heard my mother's name on television. She's very proud. That introduced you to the kids around you. That's my mother. She ran to the other side. Read to mom. I hear thank you letters from everywhere. From now on, my mother's life seems to be turning a new page. Brighter. The film ends with a happy ending. For your mother and son, To Phoenix, there must be a mother willing to sacrifice her life. Live for you is the luckiest thing in tomorrow's life. But it's not always true. That same miracle happened. The film strongly condemns the crime, trafficking in children's organs, and exalting the power of maternal love. It can make people overcome all their fears, to be brave. That's why. Why did the movie become a masterpiece? To stir up the box office of Vietnam as well as the world. Thank you for watching this meaningful movie. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel to support us. Don't forget to turn on the notification button so as not to miss the exciting videos in the future. Hello and see you later.